We got the PCP here. I mean,
Yeah, right.
I'm going to do it, you know.
Can't drive.
Yeah.
Can I send the robot in my place? Like,
Yeah.
if you just get one of these guys.
Wait a minute. My kid can just sit on the computer at home
Right,
while
yeah.
I'm coming down from PCP.
You have to
give
wake
this
up.
to an
Yeah, I
adult.
don't have to wake up at all.
Right. Everybody's going to be on PCP.
You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey.
Oh yeah!
Morning! And welcome to episode 881 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We got Mark, Wes, and I'm Will to talk with you today about what, Mark, in the cup of coffee?
Well, we have a ton of honorable mentions, okay? And we're going to talk some Olympics. We're going to talk some NFL, some post-NFL. Then we have two major stories today.
I like that.
One has an intro clip that'll be a tease that we've used before, so that's you can wrap your brain around that. And one is one of the greatest financial minds of our time has a very threatening message to us about the future of our economy. That's going to be coming up too. So,
Oh, no.
yeah.
Yeah, the inflation's got people running for the hills. You know,
Yeah. But we can laugh about it together today.
Yeah, let's laugh about it.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
If it's going to happen anyways, might as well laugh about it.
No, I'm not going to do anything about it.
right. If it's if it's the clip I'm thinking of, it's comical. Wes, what's in the TikTok international moment?
Well, I was going to do a story. I'm going to tease it a little bit here about a gentleman. I guess it's they or them now, who is going to be getting a penis reduction to be more Korean. He's racially transitioning.
What?
They are racially transitioning, and so they're. We're going to talk about that on a different show, and they will hopefully be on the show either Friday or
Hopefully to
Monday.
explain it a little bit better than you just
Yeah,
did.
hopefully,
Right.
yeah. Well, I'm
was
trying.
hard
All
to
I'm doing is trying to get the
follow. How's that?
pronouns
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
All
okay.
I'm trying to do is get the
Good
pronouns right.
grief.
Sorry.
Well, hopefully you didn't offend them
No.
when they listen
Penis
to that.
reduction.
All you need to know is penis reduction.
Penis reduction story. I mean, that's the story of our lives, right? We got
Well,
back
yeah.
problems over here. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I'd like to hear how much it costs. You know, I've been looking
Yeah.
into one of those. Yeah.
Well, it's not as expensive as you think. But today I will be covering a robot avatar for classrooms and a very offensive gesture by the University of Toronto that has pissed off thousands of Chinese people.
Oh man,
That's
Yeah,
right up
crazy.
your wheelhouse.
It is. I love it.
Crazy, yeah. Symbologist,
Yeah.
expert symbologist. Wes. Yeah. Well, and it's day 31 now of the imminent invasion of Ukraine by Russia, and we're gonna get into how the hell the clock is still running after day 30 and the announced date that was supposed to be in the invasion that didn't happen. So, yeah. So there's lots to catch up on there.
Oh, wow.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, Wes, you're in a new setting.
Yeah. Location. What you got going
I
on?
am. Well, my internet, Google Fiber, crapped out. So I had a technician come over today. And then while the technician was working on my Google Fiber unsuccessfully, a technician saw his van in my neighborhood and decided to stop by just to tell us both how fucked everything was. So
Oh, that's bad.
the guy was upstairs in my room working on it. I get another knock on the door. It's another technician. Was like, hey, was just in the neighborhood. Is Reggie upstairs? I was like, yeah. And he goes upstairs. He's like, Reggie, whatever you're doing, you're fucked. It's not going to work. I've just been to 2 houses in this neighborhood. Just give up. And
So Google
Oh.
Fiber went down in your neighborhood.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So,
Period.
yeah.
Damn.
Reggie, quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, Reggie, just go home is what he
Yeah.
came to tell Reggie.
Reggie, I'm twice the technician as you, and I can't figure it out.
Like, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah,
terrible. You're getting beat down. I'm getting beat down too. I've lost. I'm trying to beat the endurance mode VR boxing. I've gotten knocked out twice in the title fight.
Ooh. Now is it the same character, just different,
character, it's just
more
endurance
endurance mode? Yeah. So
No,
you're
no,
not
This
as
is
powerful, right?
Harder difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Right.
round, same time, but you're having to dodge so many more punches and having to throw so many more. And I've gotten knocked out. I'm getting crushed in this.
Are you getting gassed and then you're just standing
I'm
up
getting
and you're just
gassed.
getting laid out?
I'm getting gassed, Wes.
I got mode.
I got.
He's letting his hands drop.
Yeah,
I got a cardio train.
Are you just sitting there and
The
waiting for
endurance
punches to
mode.
get thrown at you?
Yeah, he's like he's putting himself out of his misery. Just get me.
Yes.
Just drops the hands.
Fuck
Terrible. I make it. It's a 5-round fight. I get knocked out in round 4 both times.
Oh, you get closer. It's 2 weeks. I give it a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I gotta like literally go running though, like to get into the shape to beat endurance mode. It's insane.
Is that the hardest mode, or is there
No,
one
there's
endurance mode?
outclassed after that. So I still have another
Holy
level
shit.
I have to beat it on after this.
You know, it's going to be satisfying when you do beat endurance mode. It's going to show that you did put in the work.
Well,
and you're in better
endurance
shape,
mode
yeah.
will be sweet, but outclassed will be really good. When
Let's
you
take it one step at a time, Will.
When you start adding rounds on
Get
the
past
money
round
maker,
4 first.
outclassed, that's when you're really working with gas.
Nice. And so Pat is off, I think, today and tomorrow because he's doing some chainsaw stuff. And so you got the 3 of us for the next 2 days. You guys ready to do the news?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
Okay. First up today, as always, is a fun fact of the day. And if you think the Olympics are bad now, be glad you weren't around for the Olympics between 1912 and 1948 when they allowed art events like sculpting, painting, and singing to be events in the games. So they ended that boring practice in 1948 because the people in the stands that were still awake started blowing the brains out a little too frequently.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, that matches up, Mark, with Prohibition era, and we've been talking about that a lot this week. We do not want to repeat the mistakes of the past.
The
What
20s
happened
and
after-
1920s and 30s and 40s sucks. So let's
Yeah,
not
it
do the
was
2020s,
terrible.
30s.
They had
and
like
40s.
Nazis and singing in the Olympics.
Ugh.
Jesus.
Ooh. All right, let's move on. Ooh. Let's move on to holidays. We have Random Act of Kindness Day, which is nice, but right after it, it's My Way Day, which is Do Things Your Own Way. So a little contradictory. They didn't really see that one through. It's also National Cabbage Day, which is terrible. And then some sort of coffee drink, cafe au lait.
Cafe au lait.
Cafe au lait.
Which
day.
is just like a half and half, right?
I think it's most
Coffee with
it's the
milk.
famous one they serve in New Orleans with the beignets.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Some beignets.
Yeah.
It's also World Human Spirit Day. Not great. Not a great day.
National
Be
Cabbage
kind,
Day.
but do it your way.
Have you guys noticed? So these the like pre-made salads that you can buy in grocery stores now.
Yes.
Have you noticed that they're just all just cabbage? Like it's like
Is
it's
it cheaper?
ridiculous.
It's getting worse, you're saying?
Oh, it's insane. It's like sweet kale and cabbage, like these salad kits. It's like hard cabbage.
Well, Wes, they say it's healthier for you.
yeah, but
They try to sell it to you as healthier, but what I wonder is if it's just cheaper. It's got to be just cheaper.
oh, it's so much
It's
cheaper for them.
easier and cheaper, probably.
They're just shredding cabbage and throwing it in bags.
Yeah, they're,
It's just coleslaw. Every
polishing,
salad is just coleslaw
There's
now.
no romaine in there.
they're polishing a turd and lying to us in the packaging. Yeah,
It's insane.
that's not good.
You got to go to Costco to get the good romaine.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
picked up
They have
six
good ones
pack
there.
today.
It's going to be quite the commodity soon, that romaine lettuce. All right, today in history.
They do sell like the industrial size bags of coleslaw too. And it's
Yeah, you're
just
going to
like-
get robbed for
yeah,
your,
you can
for
buy
your
like
lettuce.
you can buy like 10 pounds of cabbage for like $1.99.
Yeah.
Kids are going to be growing up. They're going to be like, oh, can I go to the so-and-so's house? They have real lettuce
Yeah, it's like
for sandwich.
fucking cabbage and salad.
It's all right. We're going to get through it. Today in history, I'm going to go in reverse order, most recent to oldest. 1992, on this day in history, the Milwaukee cannibal, Jeffrey Dahmer himself, was sentenced to 15 consecutive life in prison sentences for killing and eating people.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call getting that guy off the streets,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Terrifying
good call.
murderer.
Yeah, if your nickname is unironically the cannibal, you're not a productive member of society, right? That's not good. You need to be in some sort of giant full-body mascot costume to get away with that type of nickname. Like, look at him, it's the giant, fake, furry cannibal guy with a knife and fork. He's not eating real people. It's just a mascot for this terrible AAA team.
The cannibals would be pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
Speaking of people with God complexes, didn't the guy that killed him in prison say he was either God or was sent by God to kill Dahmer? Wasn't that?
It was one of those multiple personality guys. Told you.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous guy. He took out Dahmer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Told you that's a dangerous dangerous trope of personality. Great is someone with multiple personalities and one of them's God. You can't say no to God. I'm telling you. You can say no to like some old lady that has a smoking problem that's talking to you and you're like, shut up, Dolores.
Well, God also feels justified in to do anything, right?
Right.
That's probably a little
that
what
personality is
Hitler had
aggressive.
going on, right?
Yeah.
You know, we keep talking about him.
That personality doesn't pull any punches. All right, 1979 in this day in history, China went full crazy and invaded Vietnam. So, anyways, and 1801 in this day in history.
79?
Yeah, 1979 they invaded Vietnam.
After the U.S. did, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it wasn't successful, but it didn't take. But they invaded them. They got
They
the
tried
hair
to
up their
take them
ass.
over too.
Yeah.
Jeez, Vietnam, that's tough shit. You're getting invaded by everybody.
Heard it's a nice place to visit too. 1801 in this day in history, Thomas Jefferson, the slave rapist pride of Charlottesville, Virginia, was elected president after an electoral college tie. You're probably like, why so late? Because there was an electoral college tie with none other than Aaron Burr. Burr lost this duel, but the anger of losing would carry on, and Burr would get his revenge by killing Jefferson's vice president, Alexander Hamilton, just a few years later. So he was pissed about losing to TJ, then he killed his vice president.
Well, the funny part about that is that TJ and Hamilton hated each other too, because that was the second place. That was back when the second place guy was
real
VP.
reason. That's the real reason Hamilton got killed as TJ. Right. Like obviously he couldn't kill the president, so he felt confident accepting a duel with the vice president. So one and one in duels for Burr. He went 1-1 in that era, and killed a guy. Yeah. So
dueling.
He got the big one.
He got the big one. Yeah. You don't want to be Hamilton in that scenario. Okay, let's go do some honorable mentions. First one is, unfortunately, Bob Saget's death again. I know. This has been going on longer than his aristocrats joke, but there's even like more new developments. First off, I don't think we did an update on his head trauma. We just kind of mentioned that he had some sort of head trauma, but it came out
than it was first reported.
Yeah, and then it came out after that we talked about it that it was really bad head trauma, like skull fractures in the front and back part of his skull, his whole skull, including his orbital bones, and that he had severe brain bleeding all across the brain. It was likened by the person that did the analysis to a fall from 20 to 30 feet onto your head. So like falling out of a 2 or 3 story building and landing on your head, or like getting hit like directly in the skull with a baseball bat by like a full swing to the head. So that's weird because like that's like if he fell in the shower, I don't know, like it seems like he would be so concussed with that type of injury that he wouldn't know he's where he was. So that's sad if that's the case. If his last couple hours, he had no clue what the fuck was going on. It doesn't sound like he gently put himself to sleep thinking, I just bumped my head. It's not possible anymore. Right. And then another update is his family's suing, the Saget family's suing, and they don't want the autopsy details or pictures from the hotel released.
They know what happened.
So they know what happened and they don't want it released. And that sucks too, because it sounds like it's probably something not very
something not flattering to Bob.
Flattering for Bob. And look, if he like David Carradine himself or something, I'd like to say from the Hard Factor host, we don't care. We love Bob Saget. If he likes to do weird shit, as long as it's not like with another human being that didn't want to do it, we're all okay with Bob Saget and still RIP to him. Hopefully it's not too bad since his family has to know about it. But anyways, that's what's up.
Stuff.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Bob. What else? Oh, the Los Angeles Rams had a parade in L.A. yesterday where their 3 fans attended.
LeBron, and who else?
and a couple of his Lakers teammates, I think.
LeBron, Bronny Jr.
Yeah. 2 NFL teams in LA is a joke to me, if you ask. That's a city that couldn't care less about football. I kid. The streets were lined with tons of people that have been Rams fans for a few months now. But don't act for a second like if Johnny Depp was doing performance art in the park that same day as the Rams parade, the streets would have been empty and the park would have been full. What's that? Shia LaBeouf put a bag over his head again, a paper bag over his head again, and is letting people nut tap him? We've got to get over there quick. Ditch the Ram gear. It's slowing us down. Get the fuck out of here.
Some
LA.
famous DJ at brunch. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look. I mean, it didn't
They don't
look
care.
like
They don't care about
an
football.
amazing parade. Yeah, but it was perfect weather as always in Los Angeles. So Aaron Donald got to pop the top off, show off the.
Good for the players, but
muscles.
they don't have any real fans there. Anyways,
Dude, Stafford was having. I mean, they all looked like they were
yeah.
getting hammered. Stafford was hammered.
they all went to bonus on this. They all went to Disney World, the Rams, and got hammered. Like McVay was doing interviews like on No Sleep, and there's a funny video of 3 families. Like one of the wives took a picture of like 3 families like in the teacups spinning, and like the players are hungover, like and they're with their kids. Their kids are like smiling in the teacups, and they're all like dead from partying. So the Rams players definitely had a good time. They went to Disney World.
I saw Brady I don't know if it's real.
Disneyland, I guess.
He tweeted at Stafford to throw in a water in between or something like that.
Right? Yeah,
Because Brady got hammered last time he won.
On the boat, that one looked like a more fun parade on the boat, and they have real fans. They have real fans in Florida. Anyways, more NFL news. Another honorable mention: Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley broke up.
It's too bad.
That's too bad. Yeah. Here's a picture of a couple pictures of the then happy couple. Right? Remember they went on that trip, and he played like guitar for her and for that other guy from the drumming movie.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, the other hipster guy.
He's just gonna start dating another actress, right? He runs these actresses.
Yeah, well, reps for both Rodgers and Woodley came out and said that while Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks of all time and a scratch golfer and really, really good at talented at everything he tries, he's also an unlovable piece of shit. Just ask his parents, brothers, teammates, and ex-girlfriends. So that's the information coming out of the camps. They said Rodgers is like the right's Jim Carrey, just never going to be in a real relationship for too long. Unlovable.
It's a little too crazy.
Yeah. When the rubber hits the road or whatever, when shit gets real, no one wants to be around him. Anyways, last honorable mention.
Right-wing Jim Carrey is a great description of Aaron Rodgers.
That's how I see it, at least. Last honorable mention. You may have heard that the #1 female figure skater in the world, 15-year-old Russian athlete Kamila Valieva, tested positive for a banned substance in this Winter Olympics. Do you guys hear about this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like leading up to the Olympics, like a month before or whatever. And they knew about it. She pissed hot for steroids. It wasn't like, it was like steroids. At the age of 15.
Steroids?
Heart medicine is
Yeah,
what
it was
said, but it's like a steroid. It's a performance enhancer, right?
It's used for performance enhancement.
Right. Better oxygen levels, heart
Right.
Endurance, but yeah.
Right. It was
It
for
was a
cheating.
cocktail.
It was for cheating. Yeah, it was for her to do better at the Olympics. It was. Yeah. And they're still letting her compete. In fact, she's already won a gold for her team figure skating, which I saw where she dominated her portion. She did like 2 skates and she got
She's
first
the best.
She got first place in her stuff and they won the
She
gold.
surprisingly fell in singles though, I think, which right? Is that
I don't know
like
if
that?
they've finished singles yet. I think it's still ongoing. Maybe
She's supposed to win, but yeah,
she still probably will win, even if she only fell once, because her routine's 10 times harder than everyone else's. So she's probably going to get at least 2 golds, or she's going to get 1 gold and a silver.
Is it true? I saw that the Olympics, they're not going to have the medal podiums if she medals.
Well, she already medaled. She already golded.
But I thought it was.
Team.
I
But
could
they might have done that ceremony. That was so early in the Olympics. They might have stuck in that medal ceremony before
in the individuals. If she medals,
like,
they're not going to have. They're not going to let her.
Well, that's fair
podium.
for the other 2 girls.
Right. Yeah, I know it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you also may remember.
Maybe don't let her compete. This is
right.
Yeah, don't let her
Well, you
compete.
also may remember one Sha'Carri Richardson, the sprinter from LSU, who was set to compete with the 2 Jamaican sprinters for the gold in the 100 and maybe 200 meter sprints, but she was banned from the Olympics by the International Olympic Committee for smoking a wee bit of weed.
right.
Remember that?
Yeah,
And then
I mean, Sha'Carri's got a point that that her banning was ridiculous compared to this girl to be able to play.
And then she got smoked in the Prefontaine.
She should have. If she had raced better, I think she had a hard time
wasn't in
mentally
it.
after getting booed.
Oh, I know. That's why I didn't bet on. That's why I knew it happened.
So she we'll see how she comes back. But yeah, I mean, she should have raced better.
Sha'Carri sure as shit remembers it. She being denied entry into the event she'd been training years for, and she even called out the IOC saying, "Hey, what the fuck, guys? This seems like a double standard to me. I smoked a little bit of weed and admitted it, and this 15-year-old took like a steroids cocktail and is keeping quiet about it, and I was banned, but she can compete." She even went as far as to say, "This seems a little racist to me, is it?"
Right.
To which the IOC officially responded to Sha'Carri with this. It's the Simpsons colored person shrugging emoji. I don't know.
Listen, Sha'Carri.
I don't know.
We got a lot of black sprinters here, but there's only one 15-year-old phenom. We need the ratings. Sorry.
Yeah.
Also, there's no way that she was going to not be allowed to compete in China. She's a Russian competitor.
Right.
I mean, China and Russia are buddies. So there's no chance that Xi's Olympics was going to kick out the Russian phenom figure skater. It just wasn't going to happen.
She can take a cocktail today. You know,
IOC has no say in this one.
And because she's 15, I read that there's going to be
they treat them differently.
Zero penalties for her.
That was their official response, is that she's a minor, so we treat minors differently.
She can take
Yeah,
the IOC said we let them do steroids and we let their doctors finger them, is what they said.
Especially if they're Russian. Well, that's especially if they're from any country.
IOC for you.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's moving into the number 2 story of the day. How about
It's the calm before the storm. There's some bad weather brewing, yeah.
Watch out.
that's right. The groundhogs that didn't die were right. There's some bad weather coming in, and its name is Winter Storm Miles. Take a look at some of these wind gusts coming in this week through Friday. Let me see the wind. Show me wind.
That's big.
Show me wind. There we go.
Big too.
Look at that. 30, 35. St. Louis,
time
Wichita,
gusts.
Nashville, 40 to 45. Indianapolis, 25 to 30. Buffalo, 20. Detroit, 30. Chicago, 35. The Windy City. Look at that.
When's that hit?
Gusts.
Today?
Today and tomorrow, Thursday and
Oh.
Friday. Ooh, I mean, look at those winds. You
Miles.
can expect to see in the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. That's a 2 hands on the wheel scenario. You know what I mean? Not a great environment to smoke cigs in the car with that type of wind.
Whoa! Almost blew me off the road. You feel that? Whoa!
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Cigarette ash blowing back in your face.
It's
You
a
only got
little
one hand.
slippery today.
Also, it's gonna snow, as I showed you earlier. Look at that. So it's looking up to like a foot in some places. 5 to 8 inches a lot of places. It's
Yeah.
gonna be windy. It's gonna be snowy. Hey,
Mark, you were right about those groundhogs, man. I thought they had gotten it wrong because has it been warm down in Texas?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but it's been
Doesn't
really
count
warm
there.
Yeah.
But it's been warm up in northern Nevada too, and so I thought where it had been snowing up until the groundhog said there's going to be more winter, and I thought no, because then right after they said that, 2 weeks of sunshine and beautiful, and then all of a sudden this week surprise snow hit us. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then now Miles is
That
coming.
was
Groundhogs.
Miles.
It has been a mild winter in Texas. Let me tell
Yeah,
you.
knock on wood. Let's get out of it. We got a couple
We
weeks
got
left.
a lot of snow like last month, but it's just coming back now. So
Yeah, you seem like you got maybe less than last couple years too, Will. You like
no, the
less
last
frequent.
2 years have been really bad. 3 years
Yeah.
ago, we had a really wet winter. This one has been better than the last two. And if it snows again, which a lot of times does in March, it'll be better than the last 2 winters. So
There you go. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, winds and snow, that sounds like some snow drifts. I wouldn't be surprised if there may be some lakefront snow issues coming in. So be careful. You might be dick deep in snow in some places. And look, I feel bad about doing this weather report and leaving out our neighbors to the north, Canada. So I've done this a few times now. We have a rabid listener base up there. So guess what, Canada? This winter storm Miles it's a cross-country storm. You're going to be freezing your nuts and berries off, too. Ontario, you're on a snow warning. Might see 10 to 20 centimeters tomorrow. And the rest of you, get some firewood and hunker down tonight. Also, 2 hands on the wheel for you as well. Canada's got some cold weather coming in and some snow and some winds all along the southern eastern borders. So
Minus 21, huh?
There was a minus 29, like up in
yeah,
the,
but they use different. They use like Celsius or whatever. Yeah.
that's like when you get so far up to northern Canada, where it's just ice and like lakes. It reminds me of the place like the wildling place, in Game of Thrones,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
like the Night King lives up there.
Yeah. And where that guy, it reminds me of like not all the way up there, but all of it is like where that guy lived with the hut, and he like would like only kept his daughters.
Oh no, yeah. And
yeah.
he to sacrifice his sons.
Yeah.
Talk
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Wes, you got to watch that part.
Oof.
Incest, man.
That part's dark.
It's crazy.
What is this? What show?
Game of Thrones.
This is Ontario. No, I'm just Game of Thrones.
right.
Master's
all right,
Keep,
hey.
yeah, in Ontario.
I thought this was a documentary.
Yeah, it's called The Canadian. The
They got
Canadian
that
Hut.
guy? They found that guy?
But look, Canadians, Americans on the windy roads, don't be one-handing it, James Deaning it out there on the roads today. Not the day. Leave the bike in the garage or tow it to Florida if you want to go on a motorcycle ride. And that takes us to the number one story of the day, or
The cream of the crop!
okay, financial legend, Berkshire Hathaway vice chairman and Daily Journal chairman Charlie Munger cheated death again yesterday at the age of 98 and gave an interview that was as scary to hear as it is to look at him, saying inflation might be our biggest threats besides nuclear war in the future. Let's take a listen. It's and I warn you, if you're watching on YouTube, you might want to stop eating while watching Charlie. Fair warning, he looks like a human sore. Also, it's a pretty long clip, mainly because Munger is like mustering his potential last breath before he speaks every time. Here we go.
Are we looking at a prolonged decline in the markets because of inflation? Is inflation on the rise, and should we be concerned about it?
Well, let me take that in the reverse order. Inflation is a very serious subject. You can argue it's the way democracies die. When democracy dies in Latin America, inflation is a big part of it. So it's a huge danger once you've got a populace that learns it can vote itself money. If you overdo it too much, you ruin your civilization a lot. And so, of course, it's a big long-range danger. If you look at the Roman Republic, and even after they went to an empire with an absolute ruler, they inflated the currency steadily for hundreds of years, and eventually the whole damn Roman Empire collapsed. So it's the biggest long-range danger we have, probably, apart from nuclear war.
Is it something investors need to be worried about, specifically when it comes to growth stocks right now?
Did you hear him?
Yeah.
I think the safe assumption
This guy's trying to do an
for an
interview now.
investor is that over the next 100 years, the currency is going to zero.
What? What?
That's my
Charlie?
working hypothesis.
What?
Yep.
Wow. Well, that'll be a different type of environment, won't it?
Is that bad, Charlie?
A very dangerous environment.
And what about the
What brought in
Federal
Hitler
Reserve?
was the combination. What brought in Hitler was the combination of the
poor
Weimar
interviewer.
inflation, where they utterly destroyed the savings of the middle class in Germany, followed by the Great Depression. It was a 1-2 punch. And Hitler came in, crazy demagogue, with 40% of the votes, and pretty soon we had a dictator hell-bent for world war. So the history is not pleasant.
So yeah, I'd
And
say it's
Germany
bad.
was a very advanced and civilized nation, the Germany that Hitler took over.
There you go. There you go.
Inflation brings in Hitler.
Yeah, that's what he said. And the currency to zero.
Yeah.
His glasses look like Coke bottles if you're just listening. It seriously looks like he's looking through binoculars.
Yeah, like you can burn
not-
insects with those things.
He's 98. I mean, so there you go. In the next 100 years or so, as long as Charlie's been alive, our currency is going to zero. And if we aren't careful, we'll see what Charlie saw when he was in his 30s, and that's the rise of Hitler 2.0.
Yeah, he witnessed all that stuff.
We can't vote in these pussies that will just print money. We have to work multiple jobs until we're 98 and never retire like Charlie. That's what he said. Charlie Munger needs to chill out, guys. Spend some time with the great grandkids, Charlie. If your great grandkids let them around your creepy old ass, even if he's right. Look,
You're like 35 now, though.
yeah, his great grandkids.
Yeah, so, yeah.
You're scaring great grandchild Jimmy, Charlie.
Yeah, even if he's right, he needs to chill the fuck out. Look, at least write these thoughts down and have someone much younger and pleasant deliver the morbid news, Charlie. Like, use one of those new apps, the AI voice reading apps. He needs to knock it off himself. Look, inflation's very bad, and currently it's very, very bad. Worst in 40 years plus, that's for sure. But I don't think it's going to get to zero.
People, well, okay. So
The currency.
What he means is that you would experience hyperinflation,
Right.
that would then eventually it would get so inflated that it would devalue down to
Right.
zero or negative.
The cash currency would go to zero. Only gold would be valuable. He also
Right.
thinks Bitcoin is completely worthless.
He thinks it's a scam.
Yeah.
Bitcoin. So he's got a very negative view. I think what he's trying to do.
He's dying. He's 98. He's got a negative view of a lot of things.
I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to scare the Fed, right?
Yeah.
So people. I think that people who look at the U.S. economy, look at the out of control inflation, they feel like the Fed has been reckless with buying stocks and keeping the interest rates so low for so long. And I think that people like this just feel this is him trying to say,
He's
like,
a
hey,
financial
get your
genius.
shit together
Yeah,
before
I
you
agree.
ruin the country.
He's doing a little hyperbole. I agree with what he said.
Right.
Look, don't get me wrong. The economy is a very serious issue. I just don't want to hear the end is coming from a 98-year-old billionaire. Just die, you old fuck. You could have done a lot more with your fucking time and money, you selfish financial genius. The middle class is dying, says the old fuck with net worth of $2.5 billion that didn't sign the Giving Pledge alongside his lifelong best friend and working partner, Warren Buffett, and also Bill Gates. That's $2.5 billion and counting. That's all going to the Mungers, which is fine, but stop talking about the middle class. Keep our names out your rich, selfish mouth. Just shut up and die. Wait, hang on. I'm on Munger's Wikipedia page, and it says here that Charlie Munger is the director of Costco Wholesale Corporation. Maybe he is a genius. We should listen to every word he has to say. He's in charge of Costco.
Clearly, we should listen to him.
Yeah,
I take
Munger-
everything back. Yeah.
Well, he's on the board, right?
Yeah, he's a
not-
director.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, they value his opinion highly. Also,
Right.
Interesting about Costco, the CEO of Costco, the creator of Costco, is so
Recession-proof.
obsessed with inflation, like Munger. He hates it. That he apparently went
Hot dogs.
insane one year when they threatened to raise the price.
Oh,
of hot dogs.
he said he'd shut down the company.
Yeah,
if you
they
raise hot
raised
dog,
it over
yeah.
$1.50. So that's
Yeah.
why it's still. I think it is $1.99 though for a hot dog now.
No, it's 150.
Still 150?
I think. Well, you might get a Coke.
It was
for
a couple months
$1.99.
ago.
Yeah, it was.
I'll tell you what,
It's
Coke and a
$2.50
hot
for a
dog.
Coke and a hot dog.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, a chicken bake is still $2.99. Just had one today. Delicious.
So, take Munger's stuff with a grain of salt. He's going to die soon. But, economy.
He's
fun.
doing good work with Costco, though. I'll say
Costco.
that.
Costco is maybe some would say his best work is with
Stop
Costco.
scaring everybody,
Easily.
though,
Yeah.
Charlie.
Anyways, don't at me, all you economists. I don't give a fuck. Today's cup of coffee was brought to you by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm fresh produce that arrives within a week. So you get convenience without skimping on quality. Skip the trip to the grocery store, saving you the wait and long lines and ensuring you don't waste money on excess food. Come on now. HelloFresh offers you the flexibility you need to easily customize your order online as well, or in the app. Easily change your delivery day, the food preferences you want or need, and the plan size, or you could skip a week if you have enough, right? HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal of the same quality, and you can save on average over $65 per month when you order HelloFresh instead of grocery shopping. That's money back in your pocket. And they didn't just make that number up. That's coming from research done by and compared to the Saget's dining survey. Have you ever heard of Saget?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
The Charlie Munger of dining.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
They have
Titans of industry.
for sure. Charlie uses Saget. They have over 50 menu items to choose from each week and can easily fit any diet constraints. Researching, writing, recording, and editing a daily news podcast and doing some extra Patreon shows doesn't leave me a lot of time to go grocery shopping, which is why I love HelloFresh. It saves me a ton of time. So yeah, my favorite meal is probably so far. There's a ton. Like I said, there's over 50, but I like the shrimp and asparagus risotto and the perfect penne bake. Super easy to cook and delicious. So go to HelloFresh.com/HardFactor16 and use code HardFactor16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Did you hear what I said? Go to HelloFresh.com/HardFactor16 and use code HardFactor16, one word, for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
#1. I love the Grady Judd edition there. Did you hear what I said?
Did you hear what I said?
That's flexibility. That's money saving. Get in there. HelloFresh. All right. Let's move it along. There is an imminent Russian invasion of Ukraine, as we have been discussing for the last 31 days. This is day 31 of the imminent invasion. I've been keeping the imminent invasion tracker since about day 15. I think 18 was the exact day I started.
But you had it in your head before that.
Oh, I had always been realizing once I picked up on the fact that they were Jake Sullivan and Joe Biden have mostly been the ones saying that the invasion is
and
imminent.
so far you've been absolutely right. Hopefully that continues.
Hopefully because Mark, well, yeah, exactly. Hopefully that does because the Biden admin had announced that the invasion will probably happen on Wednesday, February 16th, this week. And I was glad, Mark, to see that it didn't actually happen as we had predicted, since that would have meant World War III and everything. But also left me confused because I'm like, well, we've been waiting on the imminent invasion for 30 days. It was supposed to come this day. Glad it didn't. No World War III. That's great. But I'm still confused. What the hell's going on? So I checked in with White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
Oh, she give you a new date?
She even better, Mark.
Okay.
Here's what it is. You find out for yourself.
Had been circled on the calendar as one that this administration, that other governments worldwide were watching very closely. What do you make of the fact that at this point, it is now darkness in that region, there hasn't been a military invasion?
Well, Kristen, without getting into any intelligence or conversations we would have with allies or partners, what we had conveyed last week, and you heard Jake Sullivan convey very clearly, is that we were in the window. We remain in the window.
There it is, fellas. We remain in the window.
That's not where you want to be if
Simple
you're
as
talking.
that.
If you're talking about a Russian situation, you don't want to be in the window.
We're in the window. You're right, Mark. I think it's funny they use the window as their line.
Is that on purpose?
I don't know. It's day 31 now in the imminent invasion window now. We're just cruising. No end in sight because the White House is not defined what will take us out of the window, what they would see as de-escalation. And Russia and Ukraine have already been at war for 8 years. So I guess we'll just be full-time window people in the United States, just watching the window until the never-ending border war ends. Russia says it's sending its troops away from the border, but U.S. intelligence says, hey, those troops are still close to your own borders.
But the Ukraine president also said that the Russian wasn't sending away yet.
And
right?
NATO, too.
Yeah.
Wes, that was over 24 hours ago. They haven't really responded to Putin since he said that he is.
Well, so they have,
and then NATO,
sorry.
right before we came in, they said he's moving 7,000 troops closer to the border. But the thing about it is that Russia is doing the military training exercises right now that end with Belarus on February 20th. So it seems like NATO keeps saying every single move they're doing as part of the training is moving things to the border, whereas Russia's just saying this is part of the training and it's going to be over and we're sending people home. There's very much conflicting reports on this.
Right. Yeah. That's the
I saw. Ukraine has not sided with anybody. Ukraine just said we're told that it was going to be Wednesday, and it didn't happen.
Right. So Sunday is the big day, the new day now. So if Russia
Sunday
doesn't,
is the new day.
Well, you're
when these
February,
training is
February
supposed to be
20th
over.
when it ends, they should probably go back home.
So
right?
if
most of them should go back home.
Day.
No, but I'm saying if what people are pointing to now, NATO, when they're saying that they haven't de-escalated, is that if they will know that after these quote unquote military trainings are supposed to be over, then if they don't pull back after that, then we will know
then the window. Then the window.
I mean,
longer.
do you trust Putin? Is the deal? Like, do you trust what he says? Because I don't think he
Well,
announced.
You don't have to trust anything, Wes. There wasn't an invasion,
right? But there still could be. There's Putin you're talking about.
Well, it could happen anytime. Taking it to the internet, to the Telegram account.
I guess you trust Putin more than U.S. intelligence.
Well, Wes, let's take it to the internet, to the Telegram account of Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, who said this on what was supposed to be Invasion Day on Wednesday. She said, I'd like to request that the U.S. and British disinformation, Bloomberg, the New York Times, and the Sun media outlets to publish the schedule for our upcoming invasions for the year. I'd like to plan my vacation. Which, to be fair,
with that smoky eye makeup on.
Yeah. To be fair to Maria, you'd need lots of vacations to clear your mind if you were Putin's spokesperson too. So let's get Maria some vacations, because as you can see, she looks good on a beach.
She looks good on vacation.
Yeah. I also kind of found it hot how she's like talking all that shit to everybody. It reminds me of Nikki Haley when she used to go to the UN and just yell at everybody. It's
she's an attractive lady, yeah.
Yeah. And there was, of course, the Politico article we already went over.
I believe her. I don't believe Putin, but I believe her.
She's got some truth to what she said. Yeah. There's also the Politico article, which we talked about on this show, where Biden suggested the 16th as the specific invasion date as well. So she's calling out all those media outlets that falsely reported that.
I think we're all very happy there has been no invasion. I think that the American media in particular is overblown it. I think knock on wood, has gotten it right. Hopefully that continues, because he's kind of underblowing it. And
I just don't think World War III is going to pop off, because Biden already signed over the Nord Stream 2 with nothing in return. So why would Putin start a war when he's about to get a gas pipeline that he wants anyways? It doesn't make any sense.
I think Putin is 100% testing waters over in Ukraine right now.
According to you and Joe Biden, I think
and NATO and both sides of Congress and senators and a lot of people.
Yeah, look, there are two sides to it. It's just hopefully Will's side is correct.
I'm right.
That's
it seems to me like maybe
you
Biden,
trust Putin. That's great.
I don't trust Putin. I just think Joe Biden's a dumbass, Wes. I don't trust Putin. Putin just didn't invade, and I knew he wasn't going to. I didn't trust anything he said.
He doesn't want to start
saying I trust him.
It sounds like you do.
That he wasn't going to invade.
So worked up.
Because Joe Biden is so fucking wrong.
Okay, well, there's a lot of time left, and Putin has done this in the past. He attacked Ukraine's Ministry of Defense by hacking it. What's that all about?
While we were focused on, yes, Wes, you're right. While we were focused on him invading on the ground, not only did they hack Ukraine's Ministry of Defense, they hacked U.S. defense contractors as well, and Ukrainian banks, because we were focused on the ground and not on the digital, because Joe Biden doesn't know how to fucking do
what is this? Is this World War I? We don't need ground troops anymore.
Anyways, to me, it seems like Biden is just trying to swap COVID panic for Russia panic. I don't know, but let's take it to the internet.
I hope that's all it is.
One more time for a Family Guy clip that's going viral in the wake of all this Putin drama. Here's Putin. He pulled out they thought they would. Oh, it was a hanger. They thought he was going to strangle him with it. Oh, he's got a crossbow. Shot it to the wall. Oh, he just hung his tie on the arrow. Now he's got an AK-47. Oh, he just lit a cigarette.
That's an awesome lighter.
So, yes, Wesley has been doing it for a long time, and Joe fell right into the trap. Vlad's definitely keeping us all on our toes, but a couple of things the U.S. government did do.
Glad you proved your point with that Family Guy clip.
That's from like 19. This is like from like 2002, Wes. Is it Joe fell for it?
Well, the last invasion, the last invasion was 2014. So I don't know.
He likes you're his perfect target audience. He keeps you on your toes too.
You mean I just remember history?
I am. A couple of things the U.S. government did do as part of being in the window is make at least some of the world think that we tried to escalate this tension between the Ukraine and Russia with memes like this getting passed around the interwebs. Trying so hard, but wars still don't start. And then it's the kid trying to hold in a fart in class.
Or an erection. You kid, it's usually one of the two. The kid with the veins in the forehead.
The vein popping kid.
Yeah.
You know the kid.
Yeah. Don't get a boner in front of her. Don't fart in front of her. Yeah.
We also evacuated the Ukrainian embassy, the U.S. Ukrainian embassy in Kiev, and shred all of the documents, which does have conspiracy theorists running wild that all of this is just to cover the tracks of Hunter Biden and whatever he did in Ukraine. Whatever is going on, we remain in the window, comfortably in the window, because Vlad could do anything. Day 31 in the window.
We remain in the dark.
Day 31 in the window. And right, as Wes pointed out, we just found out while we were in the window that they actually hacked the shit out of us because we weren't paying attention because we're looking.
They're still not great guys. Those Putin administration.
I'm not saying they're great guys.
No,
I'm just saying
I'm not saying you
they
are saying
didn't
that.
invade. Like I
good.
knew they
I
wouldn't because Joe Biden was wrong.
And everyone hopes they don't, including probably Russia, because that's no one wants
everybody.
a world war.
But to me, Joe Biden maybe kind of wants it too.
I don't know.
Kind of. Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
What's it called? This.
Yeah.
Did you guys see?
I think so. A lot of people around the world.
I'll put that back up. This meme. Remember 50 Cent at the Super Bowl halftime show? He was a little bit fat. So the favorite meme.
The inflation. Yeah.
No, they did this. They put this kid upside down. They said 50 waiting to perform because when he was upside down, and his veins were popping out of his head.
There's a lot of good inflation jokes too. Like inflation hit 50 cents.
Yeah,
so
he's
hard,
$1.
look at the
He's
buck
$1.
all the time.
Yeah. Well,
All
good.
right, well,
no invasion.
Keep
Good.
us
Day
keep us
31.
updated.
Well, Wes, your eyes will keep you updated because as soon as the invasion happens, you'll know that you and Joe Biden called it, and Vlad.
I don't want to call it. I don't need to call it. I want it to not happen. I just don't trust Vladimir Putin.
This is one where we need Will to be right too, because if there's an invasion, we're gonna have to scrub some audio.
I'm not rooting for this to happen. I'm rooting for what Will
no one's
thinks
rooting
is
for it to
gonna
happen.
Yeah.
So far, it hasn't happened. It doesn't look like Wednesday certainly passed. So
look, I got my finger on the pulse, guys. I've called it right so far for a reason. Because I know I've been keeping up to date with it on all sides.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty sure I got an idea of what's happening.
Okay. There we go.
Good. I'm glad.
You heard it here.
Better safe than sorry, I feel.
I
sometimes
don't
with that
only
guy.
read NATO as my source. Is the only thing.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
What are your
most
other-
outlets in Western, and most like CNN, BBC, everything you can read in the Western world is all the same shit that NATO is saying. But then there's other outlets like from Ukraine, from other parts of the world, not necessarily Russian. But what I'm saying, I got the quote from the Russian lady from a Russian outlet, but you can read other papers.
And the picture and the picture on the beach.
Yeah. I mean, like my editor who is in Ukraine is actually genuinely scared. She's there, so it's a real thing people are feeling. So it's not to be taken lightly, and not to be looked at as like let's not even prepare for it.
But Wes, who's scaring them? The people that are saying the invasion's happening on this day.
The troops, the fact that
the invasion's coming for sure.
It's the fact that there's a psycho named Vladimir Putin who is amassing troops on their border. That's might be what is scaring them. Is that there's an unpredictable leader named Vladimir Putin that is amassing troops on the border.
Media.
Okay, sure, that's part of it, but it's also the troops are controlled by a crazy guy named Vladimir Putin. Sure. I don't know,
Both
Mr. Windows.
Both of those are right. Hey,
definitely
you guys,
on Wednesday.
Guys, come on. We're on the same team, and no one wants an invasion.
No one wants an invasion. That is 100%. No, I don't want an invasion. When did I say that? I just don't trust Vladimir Putin like you do.
You want to be right, though. You want to be right.
No, I don't. I absolutely no. You're the one that gloats about being right and all this stuff. It's the only thing you care about.
You guys, we're not going to be able. We're not going to be able to get through all Jack Sievert's YouTube comments if you don't move on.
Yeah. You admitted that's what you like today is that you liked that you were right about it.
Well, I have called this from the start, have I not?
Okay, well then don't say you don't like it. All right.
When did I say that?
You're saying
I just said you wanted to be right about them invading. You want Vlad to make a move, so you're right.
No, absolutely
not. My mediation
want
skills have run out.
Why would I want our troops to
die? The reason is Joe Biden. I don't know what drives you guys. What makes you tick?
Yeah, me and Joe Biden are like this. Yeah. Listen, I like when Joe Biden's wrong just as much as you. Trust me. Well, no, I just don't trust Vladimir Putin. I like to stick with the USA on this one. All right, let's go to take a trip. Let's get out of Russia. Okay.
What if it starts?
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
Border of Ukraine and Russia for the first time.
Let's go to Kiev. Let's go to Crimea.
Crimea River.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Germany and check in on some robot news. Fellas, I want you guys to meet 7-year-old. Hang on. Let me pull up a picture of him. 7-year-old Joshua Martinelli. Okay. He's a sweet little boy who unfortunately cannot attend classes with his friends because he has a fucking tube in his neck due to a severe lung disease. Okay. You guys saw that? He's
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty bad.
It looks like, okay.
So pretty sad, but that hasn't stopped Josh or the Berlin district Marzahn Hellersdorf from making sure Josh keeps on learning and feels included in the class. And this is their solution. That is a desk with a little robot on it and a picture of Josh next to the robot. Also, the robot has a scarf to make it a little more human-like. And that is Josh's avatar robot. Okay, this is the future. What we're looking at right here. These avatar robots are actually a private initiative, and this school district is the only one in Berlin that has them. They purchased 4 because COVID, kids are out of school. But they have now seen that they can be useful any time of year for kids, just like Josh, or for parents who are just too scared to send their kids back to school again.
Well, I love it for Josh. I love it, but
It's
I don't.
cool, right? Check it out.
I don't like it for like everyone.
Right.
No, kids should have to have a reason that they need this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well,
It's a robot sitting on a desk that looks at the teacher and pretends it's a child. It's a creepy thing.
And you can hear his voice through the robot, right? So like the robot has a speaker, and when he talks from home, his voice projects through the robot, and his classmates hear his voice through the speaker. Yes.
Right. And now, since they have these things, the education counselor said, it does happen from time to time for various reasons. Child can't go to school in person. Then they bring out the avatar, and now the kid's in class and is part of the community. And the head mistress at this school said the children talk to him, laugh with him, and sometimes even chit-chat with him during the lesson. Josh can do that quite well. So it's just like Josh is in the classroom, and one of Josh's classmates had this to say to Reuters.
Can't line up, though, right?
No, you can't line up.
Sounds fucked up.
One of Josh's classmates had this to say to Reuters. Said, I like the avatar better than Josh. Having a robot in class is way cooler than having a kid with a tube in his neck. That tube would be so distracting.
He made that up.
Yeah, I made that up.
With like tube in his neck. That's like I don't want to lose to a guy with a hook for a hand. Yeah.
So
I can't sit next to the...
Can Josh talk, or does he tell the robot what to say with texts?
I believe Josh can talk. That's a good question, Will. I mean, it looks. I really
it's
can't
not
tell.
like from the pictures you wouldn't necessarily know.
Good
Yeah,
point.
I just think that it's better for Josh to be at home and not in class. He looks.
Yeah, well, you don't want to get that kid near any germs. That's gotta
Exactly.
Be.
No.
He's got a
Keep him
severe
clean.
lung disease. And
He's not going out to recess, so it might as well stay home.
No, but good for Josh. Good for other kids. This could be a way for other kids with disabilities that can't attend class to to be able to be part of the classroom.
It's cool for kids that need it. Like if we slide into this world of like kids have the option always of.
Right.
Like you're gonna go down a slippery slope if you like start allowing kids to just stay home all the time forever.
Right.
It's not even really allowing the kids to stay home, is it? It's allowing the parents to decide if the kid stays home or not, which is like
it is.
That's more the problem. Is if the parents are like, like it's up.
I don't feel like driving today.
Right.
I literally did that yesterday with Cam. I was like, hey, you want to maybe do class from home Friday? And he was like, why? And I was like, I don't know. So I don't have to drive you to school in the morning.
Traffic's fucking horrible on Fridays.
I was like, are you doing anything important?
Because I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no bus that picks you up.
Traffic is really a lot worse on Fridays.
And sleep in another half an hour.
Yeah. That's the issues.
Yeah.
Giving the parents the choice.
But then he hesitated, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. You're good.
Yeah, you're gonna feel the guilt like immediately.
Yeah, I feel big time guilt immediately.
Some parents will not have that guilt. Some
No.
parents will just be like, all right, fine. Oh.
No, sweet. I'm gonna get hammered.
School's the best, but for all the reasons not the schoolwork. So if you're just staying at home doing the schoolwork, that's the worst part of school. Interacting with your peers is the best part of school.
Listen, let me tell you, when I was at my worst with drinking, this COVID stuff would have been perfect for me. I mean,
Right.
not
hated
having
driving.
to,
You hated driving.
not
hungover.
having to get up and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I would have abused the shit out of it.
My point is
But
that
Wes, that's
there are a
why-
lot of parents that haven't gotten sober. Wes.
Oh, I know.
That's why the
Yeah.
OD. That's why the OD deaths were so bad. Like 18 to 45, fentanyl ODs were more than COVIDs. Last year. So it's like a shitload of people are getting way too into just getting fucked up at home every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
the COVID's not been good for that. Way too many people are just like chilling at home. I'm glad all I do is smoke weed, man, because like if it was more than that, it would
Yeah.
be a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, Cam was the only thing that would keep me halfway sober. And if I had this option, like knowing that I had to get up and go to Jacob to school, but it would have been a lot worse if I,
Everything goes up. So if you're into
ridiculous.
weed, that goes up. If you're into alcohol, that goes up. If you're into PCP, that goes up.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just whatever.
Slippery slope, man. It's just
Slippery
COVID.
slope.
Being at home, you don't have to it's crazy. And so like people
I
just
got the
get fucked
PCP
up.
here. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna do it.
Can't drive.
Yeah.
Can I send the robot in my place? Like,
Yeah.
if you just get one of these guys.
Wait a minute. My kid can just sit on the computer at home.
Right,
While
yeah.
I'm coming down from PCP.
You have to
give
wake
this
up.
to an
Yeah, I
adult.
don't have to wake up at all.
Right. Everybody's going to be on PCP.
Yeah. It's
I
ridiculous.
was robot school. I don't care.
We've got the whole world's been replaced by robots of people who are out doing PCP.
We are racing for the robots to outplace us.
Yeah.
We're
It's crazy.
sprinting for it.
Okay, next story. Let's go to Toronto. Apparently, the world's third largest Chinese colony after Singapore and Vancouver is Toronto, according to some guy on the internet. Anyway, that fact will be important later because the University of Toronto is having to make a big apology to all of its Chinese students and staff and people in the community because the university tried to celebrate the Chinese Lunar New Year by participating in the Chinese tradition of handing out free red packets. These little red packets that you see there on the left.
Communist Manifesto or something? Or?
They're called
Like envelopes almost.
yeah,
right?
they're little envelopes. They're traditionally given on birthdays and weddings. They're full of money. They're called hongbao. And it's, like I remember when Cam went to Singapore, all of his relatives gave him like these little red packets full of money. Just like, it's just, it's a tradition.
It's like going to an Italian event.
Right, Italian wedding.
Yeah.
It's the same, except those are white envelopes with cash.
Correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
White with cash instead of red with the design and cash. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So in these traditional little packets is money, and they're, like I said, weddings, birthdays. So the university wanted to get in on the fun, so they handed out these packets, but instead of real money in them, they put fake currency in it, or as the Chinese call it, hell money, because fake currency is reserved for the dead, and giving someone who is alive hell money, fake money, is just about the most disrespectful and insane thing that you can do, apparently.
On the Chinese Lunar New Year day.
On the biggest day of the year.
Yes.
Talk about your all-time backfires.
It's literally considered one of the worst things you can do in Chinese culture is to give it's considered a threat of a curse. It's considered it's basically being like, I want to kill you, I want you dead.
You know what
It's like sending someone a bullet.
Exactly.
Or like if you went to like
finger.
a Christian thing and gave everybody a lump of coal on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad that apparently the one member of this of the Triad gang in Hong Kong was arrested on suspicion of sending multiple packets of this hell money to a specific prison officer. So basically, it was like
threat.
literally like, I'm
A
going to
threat.
kill you. Yeah, it's good as a death threat. It's like
Oh
it's like a dead horse
You'll
head
be
in your
seeing
bed.
hell soon.
Yeah. So the university has since apologized for the mix-up, claiming what they had intended to distribute were the hongbao envelopes rather than envelopes filled with the hell money.
Did they have no Asian people helping with this?
Oh, that's a good
Clearly
question.
not.
That's one of the people are upset about it on Twitter, obviously.
Or it
one
was
of the
like
comments was like
their
this
Asian correspondent was like quitting.
Yeah,
They hated the school. It was like a revenge.
Yeah, I'm gonna read you.
I got it. I know what we should do.
Yeah, exactly.
They already had their 2-week notice in.
Exactly. The school put out this apology saying members of the University of Toronto graduate house team prepared to a display to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Unfortunately, incorrect banknotes were unintentionally placed into the red envelope. So they're not even taking ownership of it. They're saying that it was that it was an accident because they don't want to admit how stupid and uncultured they are, being that they have the 3rd largest Chinese colony in the world and that a lot of Chinese people go to their university. They didn't want to admit how just boneheaded this was.
Jesus. So is it like a bad idea to ask like a Chinese person to play Monopoly? Is that disrespectful?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Part of a game, it has to be okay, right?
It's the envelope. It's putting it in the envelope.
Yeah,
it's putting it in the Hong Bao
it's gifting actual fake money to somebody. You could touch it, I'm sure, as like part of like games and shit. But like, if you're,
I don't know
handing somebody fake,
I don't know if they'd be rushing to the game of Monopoly, but
But if you're handing somebody fake cash, like, hey, here's a present for you, that's a threat.
It's a threat. It's like I want you dead. I want to kill you.
It's like sending a dick pic.
A couple of the comments. This is Will's to Will's point. Apparently, deeply committed to the principles of equity, diversity, and inclusion, which I guess the university slogan means no Chinese representation in the University of Toronto's organization.
Right.
So it's just there's no one on the fucking board here, Chinese or Asian.
Even ask maybe like a student, like a straight A student, if they're doing it right,
or
like
even
Chinese
like
student,
an exchange student.
Just Google,
how do you not get? How do you
that's
not
what I'm
get the
saying.
Chinese exchange students?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's
like,
plenty of Chinese students at the University of Toronto that are 100% Chinese.
Listen, there's so many faux pas in Asian culture that you have to ask.
Yeah.
If you want to participate in the tradition, ask how to do this. Like ask how to shake a hand.
You can offend somebody so easily.
You can offend someone so easily. Yeah.
This is like
don't
getting
touch
a lady.
Their head. Don't shake their hand.
This is like getting a lady to manage a baseball team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. Another one. I received this, and I will simply take it as an invitation to meet outside the lockers. How can you feign ignorance when it literally says hell on it? I don't know if it says hell on it. Whatever.
Fake dollars did.
Yeah, I don't
do
know.
better, white people.
Do better, white people. People are just super pissed. So the university had to eat, a lot of crow or whatever the term is.
But that's crazy. What other comments do you have?
Here's one. The University of Toronto has apologized after its graduate house residents celebrated Lunar New Year by distributing this fake money, hell money, and then this guy said hell money is funeral offering. Receiving it in a lucky red envelope is about as lucky as finding a horse's head in your bed.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The layers of offense are immense. To invoke death in red envelopes meant to send luck for Lunar New Year would cause genuine distress in my culture. So,
this is awesome.
Yeah, this has gotten people real riled up. No amount of EDI can wash this curse off.
Damn.
So people feel they're cursed. People are offended. People think it's like a direct insult. And University of Toronto is just a major fuck up with their Asian or their Chinese, students.
Look, it's not funny to like the people that are offended by it, but it's very funny. It's funny.
Hilarious. It's hilarious they made such a bad mistake.
Look at this. If you just got a hell money packet, think about it. At least you're not living on the Russian-Ukrainian border.
That's
true. Or just listen to the Charles Munger speech and call
it's safe there.
If you want more doom and gloom to oversee your doom and gloom, listen to that Charles Munger speech.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that interview. He's like trying to ask his third question. He's like, so is this bad for stockholders?
Yeah.
He's like, it's going to zero. And he's like, oh.
When I saw Charles Munger was trending, I was like, what the fuck?
That can't be good.
I had no idea who he was, honestly, until today. I had no fucking idea.
Warren Buffett's partner. It's like I think he's like the other half of Berkshire Hathaway.
His right-hand man. Yeah.
Right. Well, I never heard of what's the other guy?
Warren Buffett?
No, the other guy in Apple I'd never heard of for a long time.
Wozniak?
Wozniak, yeah.
The sloppy fat one.
He's like Wozniak.
Yeah, he's like Wozniak.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's going to do it for today.
Older and way less cool than Wozniak.
Yeah. Us three amigos will be back with you tomorrow to run it back.
Oh, let's spin the wheel then.
Yeah, we got to spin the wheel.
That's right.
We're all going to be doing something because there's 3 jobs. There's coffee, TikTok, and the voicemail interviews.
On the screen here. Wheel.
We all got something to do.
Here it is. All right. Cup of coffee in the big time is going to be.
Spin, spin, spin. Will.
Wow, 2 Fridays in a row. I hadn't had one since we started the wheel.
Wes is due for voicemails.
I certainly am.
Yeah, Wes is
All right.
due for voicemails. Be kind, Will. I'd rather
Next
do
is
TikTok.
TikTok.
Come on, TikTok.
Oh, it's you.
Slow down. Nice.
Wes is. Wow, look at that. The wheel.
All
Good
right.
job, Will.
It knows the order.
I like it.
There you go.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll see you again back here tomorrow. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. A new Florida Man Friday will be dropping tomorrow also. So check that out. Get in there and peruse around a little bit. Check out all the amazing content we have in there and all the hundreds of episodes that you can be enjoying for as little as $5 a month, $10 a month if you want it all, $20 a month if you want to enjoy the trivia night and other more channels on the Discord. Everyone gets Discord no matter what, but you get more channels the higher level tier you go up. Sign up for a year, send in the car, you get a free sweatshirt. Sign in for a year of Pop the Clutch, you get a free t-shirt. So, make it worth your while. But most importantly, thank you so much for supporting us. We love you and have a great fucking day.